Hey guys, Mr. Woomer here in the Masonry lab. Lately, a lot of you guys have been asking me about taking a test for the wet saw and if you could use the wet saw. So I'm going to do sort of a quick demo here for you guys of how you would use this in a practical situation here. We learned a lot about brick splitters, and some of you guys have been cutting bricks with a chisel, which is fine. When you really need to make a precise cut though, the masonry saw would be the way to go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of walk you through the steps that you would go through in order to use this. So obviously the first thing you would always think about is safety. So we're gonna put these things on. And of course, when you're running the saw itself, it gets pretty loud, so hearing protection is also required for this. But the first thing you want to do is make sure that the breaker is flipped off. That ensures that there's no power running to this thing, and you can safely kind of go over it and just do sort of a quick safety check, make sure that the parts are in good working order. All right, and the main things you want to look for, you want to inspect the power cord, which is towards the back there. A little difficult for you to see. You want to make sure that that is looking pretty good, in pretty good condition. You want to inspect the blade. Let me get this a little bit closer for you here. This is a diamond tip blade, okay, very sharp, very dangerous, but you want to make sure that that blade doesn't show any signs of cracks or wear. It looks like it's on there pretty good, pretty tight, and you want to make sure that you don't see anything really odd looking about it. It's a piece of power equipment, okay? You make sure that the on-off switch is down at the off position, and we are looking pretty good here, so I think we're ready to start. Now, the first thing I'll do is head over here, flip on the breaker, and once I know that we have power flowing to the saw, I'm going to select our victim here. All right, let's just assume we're going to need this brick right here to be cut at about a 3/4 brick. So we're going to mark it off. Nice little mark on this here. Get it up into our conveyor table. All right, I already have the depth of the blade set. Okay, so we know this blade's gonna cut all the way through. And just notice, as I'm doing this, I'm not forcing the brick at all. I'm using the pressure pedal and my hand to kind of bring the blade down onto the brick, and you let the saw blade itself do the work, okay? There's gonna be water hitting this blade pretty rapidly. It's gonna actually minimize the dust. The whole purpose of water striking against the blade, which by the way, that's why this is called a wet saw, is to sort of minimize the dust that otherwise would have been coming off had this just been a blade cutting through a brick. You get all kinds of particles in the air, and you'd be breathing them in, which it's no good, especially in an indoor setting like this. So you want that water hitting. It's going to drain away. It forms kind of a little reddish colored, like a slurry. But that's going to go away, so it's kind of safe for us to breathe in here. And other points I just wanted to emphasize again, you do not force the blade through. The blade is going to be doing the cutting. Once it's through, I'll flip the power back off, shut the water off, and we're basically done with the cut. I can go and clean the area up and flip off the breaker. So I'm gonna go ahead here. I'm gonna get my hearing protection on. All right, now I can't hear a thing. I'm making sure that the blade is lined up correctly with my mark here. Water's on. Power's on. Keep in mind, even though it's shut off, the blade's still spinning pretty quickly there, so you got to be careful. You could still get things flying off of that blade. You keep these glasses on for the entire time, all right? And you do not get your hand anywhere near that blade until it's completely stopped, all right? But what you see here is a pretty precise cut here. Pretty decent looking, but this would be the way that you cut your perfect size pieces on any project that you guys might be doing. So we'll be talking more about this later. You can do all kinds of different cuts with this. You can make angles, but always safety first, and it's nothing to be afraid of. Any one of you guys can handle one of these. Just got to be careful. Know the parts, know how it works, and practice a little bit. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week.